Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am here with a long-awaited update. I know I get the messages all the time, where's the update? So I do want to just explain myself. First of all, I know that there's a long period in between my videos, and it's weird for me to come and film a video. I feel uncomfortable. That's how long I leave it in between. But I want to just talk about the frequency of videos on this channel. So I don't make videos here to make money. This isn't my job or anything. So I'm not a regular uploader. If something's going on and I feel like it's worth filming or, having some kind of documentation of it, like a holiday or something for the kids to look back on in the future, or just, like 6 months later for me to look at, I do that and I'll share that. In terms of cancer updates, it's really only going to be every 3 months because that's how frequently I get scans, and that's the only time that I can really give an update as such. Having said that, I will do an update today and just talk about how I am doing with the treatment and just a general how I'm doing update as well. But I feel that nothing much changes with me, and I'd only really be repeating myself. I've said it a few times that I am on Instagram and it's not daily uploads or anything, but if you're thinking, I wonder, is she okay? I wonder, has she died? You can go onto Instagram and you'll see me there and I'll be alive. So yes, treatment. Let's talk about Ribociclib first. So it is a Sunday. I am going to take my last dose of this cycle, which is cycle 5 tonight, and then I'll have a week off. Tomorrow will be going into daycare oncology for blood tests, for, blood pressure, all the checkups and stuff like that. And then also as a precaution for some chest pain and blood pressure issues that I've been having, I will also be getting an echocardiogram. So in terms of how I'm doing with Ribociclib, I'm doing really well. The main side effect that I have is fatigue, and I'll talk about that in a second. But basically, I have ended up switching from taking the Ribo in the morning time to taking it at night before I go to sleep. So I don't even just take it in the evening. I just know that when I'm in bed for the night that I take it just before I go to sleep. And that has made a huge difference. So people did say that here, why don't you try taking it at night? And then also when I was in daycare oncology, they did say that people do take it at night. So I went ahead and switched it and started doing that. So where I was feeling very, very sick, very nauseous in the morning time after taking it, I don't have that at nighttime. I don't feel nauseous at all when I'm in bed. And I had kind of worried about that. I thought, oh, well, if I'm in bed, I won't be busy doing things and my mind will only be on the fact that I feel sick, but it just hasn't happened. The one thing I have noticed is that I feel it's like tired in the morning. I feel groggy to get up, which is quite unlike me because I would purposely get up quite earlier than my kids, like an hour to an hour and a half before them, because it would just give me free time in the morning too. It takes me a long time to kind of wake up and stuff, and like whether that's having a cuppa or getting done something that I wanted to get done, laundry or whatever, it just gave me the time to do it. And I quite enjoyed that time. The way people talk about the 5 a.m. club, that, you won't know yourself once you start waking up early. I was one of those people. But at the moment, since switching to taking the Kisqali, the Ribociclib at nighttime, I do find that it's difficult to wake up in the morning. Now it's not too bad because I still wake up maybe 45 minutes before the kids. And I'm still getting everything done in the morning, leaving the house on time and everything. It's just, that's the one thing that happens from taking it at night. But that's better than feeling super sick. So it is what it is. So I mentioned fatigue. So it's not a fatigue that I feel in the morning when I talk about tiredness. It's a grogginess. It's just the feeling of not wanting to get up. The fatigue I feel in the afternoons. So I get up and drop the guys to school. I go to work. When I finish, I go and I collect them and we go home. And I would say about 4 p.m. is my real slump. And particularly this week, so week 3 of taking it, it's cumulative, you know, so I find this week to be the most difficult week, and then you have a week off, you kind of recover, and then things are better. But also the fact that it's cycle 5, it's cumulative in that way where, sorry, Alexa, stop. I need to go check something in the oven.
5 minute alarm set for 1:47 p.m.
I've got oven smell on me. Ugh. Okay, what was I saying? Yes, that it is also cumulative in the way that it's cycle 5, and the further that I'm getting into the treatment, the more of that fatigue that I am feeling. So yes, but it is manageable. It's manageable, I think, because my kids are pretty clued in. They know if I'm having a harder day than normal or something like that, and they're pretty good to let me go and have a nap, which is awesome. Probably doesn't work that way if they're toddlers. You know, like when I was first diagnosed, Devin was 5 and Ashton was 2. So that wouldn't have been possible back then. And obviously I needed a lot of extra hands. No, I didn't grow extra hands. People helped me. Yeah, so that's it with the Ribociclib. So the aromatase inhibitor that I am on is Letrozole, and I have experience with aromacin, so exemestane and tamoxifen as well. And it's no secret, I really don't like that part of the treatment. I'm good with Zoladex. I've had like over 70 something Zoladex implants or injections, and I really don't feel any side effects now of that. Obviously in the beginning it was different, putting you straight into menopause and that kind of thing, but now I cope really well with the Zoladex. So Letrozole in particular, the side effect that I find the most difficult is the feeling of it's like a feeling of anxiety and palpitations, but it's not, nothing triggered it. It's not anxiety. And we know that I'm very familiar with anxiety. I obviously, like I don't hide it. I have been diagnosed with general anxiety disorder, and that can rear its ugly head at any time. But I do really well at the moment in terms of my anxiety. Sometimes I get kind of bad bouts of it, you know, and that can be things like you know, that I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to go to the supermarket. Like I don't want to be seen by anybody, that kind of thing. But as I said, in general, I'm doing pretty well with it. So when I get this anxious feeling and the palpitations, I know it's not actually my anxiety. It's something that is a side effect of the medication. And so I'm not feeling anxious about a particular event or anything like that. It's that uncomfortable feeling in yourself. Sorry, my tummy is making so many noises. And then the the palpitations that come with it as well. So having said that, if I also take letrozole at night, if I take the letrozole and I have those side effects for the next day and it carries on into the evening, if it carries on into the evening, I don't take the letrozole that night. So it can happen that I'll go, you know, a couple of days and then take it again. And it's just the way that I have found that I can cope with the side effects, because that for me is the worst one. I would really like to not have to take that particular drug. But yeah, so bone infusions, I can't really comment yet on that. I would like to leave that until the next one, which is in March, because I do feel that it gets easier each time, but I want to give it one more before I actually make a definitive comment on that one. So yeah, and then I talked about Zoladex, that, you know, I find Zoladex totally tolerable for whatever reason. Actually, just in talking about the anxious feeling and palpitations, I don't know if I said this here before, but I did meet a woman who she experienced that with the Zoladex and ultimately stopped taking the Zoladex because she couldn't cope with those feelings. And I suppose because the Zoladex, we do it every month, it's harder to, like, you'd have to just stop it. You can't just skip a couple of days the way that you can with the letrozole. So yeah, I suppose feeling those side effects with that would be a lot worse. Oh, anyway, yeah. So that's it. That's the update in terms of the medication and treatment. In terms of physical ailments, I was quite sick a few weeks ago. I had very high temperatures, so 40 and 41 degrees Celsius. And long story short, I ended up in it was a weekend. The emergency doctor wouldn't see me because I was a cancer patient with such a high temperature, and you have to go to hospital. So I ended up in accident and emergency. They had done blood tests. They found that the white blood cells were quite low, as well as being neutropenic. So they said it was neutropenic sepsis. And then I, the next day, got a swab result back that I had done the day before and found out that I had Influenza B. And that was really what had started me being so sick. So then I went on antivirals. I went on Tamiflu, which you get when you have a virus and you're immunocompromised. So yeah, I took that and I recovered from it and it was all good. But I did pass it on to the whole family. So my kids were really sick. My kids were definitely, I feel like it hit them harder than me. I don't know if it did, but when they had high fevers, they were both hallucinating and stuff, and it was so difficult to see them like that. That's the sickest I think that I've ever seen them. I'm quite lucky that I don't have children with a chronic illness or anything. So yeah, but yeah, that was eventful. So the other thing is, I mentioned having an echocardiogram tomorrow. So I have been having some chest pain and some low blood pressure at the same time. And then since that and monitoring that, so that's why I'm doing the echocardiogram, sorry, but since that, I've found the pain to be different, and I'm not sure, but it could be capsular contracture again. So I did have that before, and I had the surgery to have that released and fixed. but I think it could be starting again. And so that was, it's the same amount of time. Yeah, it's the same amount of time. So I think it could be that. Now, the last time I had radiotherapy, which would have, I thought, been the cause for the capsular contracture. So I don't know. I'll talk to them and I'll find out. And in the next update, I'll talk about that some more. So yeah, physically, really, that's the, I mean, it's not cancer related, but my wrist is driving me absolutely crazy. I had surgery on it a year ago. I broke it really badly and I had plate and screws put into it. So, sorry. So initially pain that I felt was kind of tendon related, and it was, you know, stretching and moving the hand around during the physiotherapy. But now I feel pain in it all the time. So I don't know if you have had a plate and screws put in. Did you find that? Did you have the plate removed? Because I think that might be what I need to do, is have the plate removed. I think there's something not quite right with that. Anyway, just thought I'd share that information with you. So that's it. Then in terms of mental well-being, I'm still doing really good. I'm not letting you know, what is going to happen in the future take over or anything like that. And I think, and as I said, I'm pretty in control of the whole anxiety side of things. You know, I've learned now to just, if something is causing me anxiety, to just get rid of that, you know, and that could be it could be a person, it could be it could be a place, it could be, I don't, it could be anything, but just to remove it from my life, and then it's not a problem, and then I don't have to think about it or deal with it. And here's the seagulls coming to ruin my video. Yeah, so we have no control over the future and what's going to happen, and just accepting that and realizing that worrying about it isn't going to make it any better. It isn't going to change it. It isn't going to do anything for you except make you worry and make you be anxious and I don't know, whatever else. So yeah, and I know that that's easier said than done, but I have been able to come around to that way of thinking, thankfully, and it makes for a much happier and more peaceful life, I think. Tell me again. So yes, I'm just going to get back to the frequency of these videos. Just bear in mind that there is going to be a 3-month gap in between them, you know, for the time being, and maybe that will actually even get longer if scans are not as regular. I don't know, but all I can do is just update as things happen, and I feel very much that things don't change too much in between, just in terms of the way that I'm feeling and that kind of thing. So that's it. That's the update. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.